Everybody, welcome to the hot seat for the C-Suite, the show built to separate AI hype from startup signal, one founder at a time. No pitch decks, no fluff, just 7 direct questions and 60-second answers from the C-Suite. I'm your host, Stefan Lubinsky, and I am really happy to welcome a brave first guest of this experiment called the hot seat from the C-Suite. Chris Caen, joining us from San Francisco. He is the CEO and one of the founders of Millpond Research. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Stefan. Appreciate being on.
All right. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate it because you were brave to jump on something that has never been done before, but we're going to do this. I promise no fluff. I'm not asking Chris where he started and his background and all this stuff that typically drives us crazy at the beginning of one of these things. We're going to get right into it. So Millpond Research is the name of the company. So let's start with the problem that you are solving out there with your AI startup. So talk to us about the problem. Oh, I've got to put up the timer. Here we go, because he only has 60 seconds. So now let me go ahead and get ready to hit that button. And Chris, give us your answer.
Yeah, the problem was really best spoken by the CIOs and the CISOs that we met at the RSA Security Conference last month. And they all said a version of the same thing. They all said, I feel like I'm stuck right now between my business executives who want me to just lock down AI use on the network because they're scared, and their business leaders who want them to unlock AI and turn it loose and empower them. And what's happening right now is the risk is winning. Over 80% of the CIOs are just blocking AI use. But we know that's not a long-term solution. At a certain point, they are going to have to empower their units with AI that can drive their businesses forward. So the question becomes, how do you securely do this so the business executives don't have to worry about the risk of AI anymore?
Wow. Can you imagine? Everybody watching, he did it with 3 seconds to spare, concise, on point. Man, CEOs pay attention. If you can't answer a question in 60 seconds, maybe you got to go back to the drawing board. So thank you for that. We're going to go to question number 2. I'm going to reset the clock because look at me doing it the right way. So next question is about the opportunity. How big is the opportunity and why does it matter now? And here we go.
Well, why does it matter now is really interesting because it's kind of an existential moment, isn't it? Companies are either going to be AI powered or not AI powered, and the ones that are not are going to fall behind their peers. There's a recent report that came out from Accenture that says that companies that embrace and use AI are going to have a 2.5 times greater revenue growth than their peers. But the problem is right now, that's the reward, but the risk is winning right now. So what happens right now is how big is this? Is every company is going to have systems in place to measure and monitor and mitigate AI use across their networks so they have control over how it's being used, and proprietary or confidential or personal data is not being exposed by the use of this, but they can still get in the AI game and be competitive in the market.
This guy's definitely practiced. Another nailed it. Great question. Great answer. 60 seconds. We're moving on to the competition. What makes Millpond Research unique, hard to replicate? Why is this something that you feel confident you're not just going to be, eaten alive by somebody else really quickly?
Well, we're not going to be eaten alive because, look, AI security, people know this is becoming an issue, but the existing cybersecurity solutions out there, they use things like authentication and identity and directories. And the problem is AI doesn't live in any of those buckets. So you can't use existing cybersecurity solutions to solve this problem. What you need is an end-to-end solution that can do both of the things that CIOs and CISOs need. It can lock down that AI use, and you can be able to know that you've got it under control, but you also can orchestrate that AI use in your company where basically every prompt from every person learns from each other, and you can empower those business units. So again, I keep going back to this risk and reward, but you need that unique, tailored for AI cybersecurity solution, not just locks it down, but gives the business unit leaders the power they need to compete.
Makes a lot of sense. It's AI for AI. Okay, so let's talk about traction. What proof do you have so far that this is working? Let's talk about customers, whether they're in the beta stage. What's the traction?
Yeah, so we have a beta program that started earlier this month. We've already got partners in the government services industries, in marketing, in financial services. We have a bank that embraced our solution. They have our solution deployed, and they are seeing a 300% increase month over month in the
Wow.
use of AI on their platforms. So we have been able to show that we can release AI across your network, empower your business units to be successful, but at the same time, with Xylos, which is our security layer, we've proven that we're able to lock that down to the agent level. We can see what's going on with the prompts and what's going on with the data that could be exposed, and we are locking that down and making sure that all this great 300% increase in use is not actually causing security breaches as well.
Amazing. All right. So the vision, what is the big picture outcome or the long-term goal for the company?
Yeah, what's great about our solution is we are prompt based. Our firewall does its work on a prompt as it comes out of your network. And that means we don't care where the prompt came from, whether it's an agent, a person, an application, we don't care where it's going. We are universal. But the cool thing is that means we get to work with all the existing cybersecurity solutions because they need this observability into AI, which we've already talked about, they can't see right now. We can give them the tools where they can add that into their platforms and give their customers the observability they need to understand how AI use is happening on their networks. And now they can control it and secure it, but tie that into the vendors they're already using. We're not asking you to throw away your cybersecurity partners. We actually just empower them to enter this AI world as well.
Okay. So the biggest challenge that you're facing to realize that vision, and whether that obstacle is just cash to scale, whether it's engineers, but getting access to engineers into the States, or maybe bringing them in with visas. What's really the bottleneck and the challenge to realizing the vision that you've got?
Yeah, the challenge right now, honestly, is a human issue. Right now in AI and with CIOs and CISOs and how they are addressing AI use on their network, uh, the risk is winning, right? They're looking at their executives saying, lock it down. They're looking at their business leaders saying, turn it loose. And they're choosing to just lock it down because that's the easier solution. And there's no sort of implied loss by doing that. They're not feeling the pain yet. The pain will be the company over time becoming less and less competitive in the market around them. I mean, companies as big as Cisco have basically started to lock down the ability to use external models. And that certainly is an answer, but they have to be shown that there's an easier way to address this where both sides of the equation can be solved, that we can both lower the risk for the executives and power up the revenue on behalf of the business units.
That makes a lot of sense. All right. Finally, last question. You made it. What is the next major milestone or the next piece of the plan that you're working on now?
Yeah, so we're in our beta program right now. We are testing our Xylos appliance, our platform, which allows people to both lock down AI and orchestrate the use of that AI. So we are really giving them the tools again to handle both sides. We are building out the second level of our orchestration engine right now. That is patented, by the way. So that's one of the big advantages that we have over our competitors.
Okay.
And then we are going into full product release end of the summer, which will again give CIOs and CISOs a single platform, a single view of the truth, where they can understand the AI use on their networks. They can secure it where necessary to prevent data from getting out, but they can show the business leaders that they can go to market and deploy AI and be successful and be able to drive revenue. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you competitive. Again, this is really an existential threat for these companies.
Well, I got to say, for a inaugural or pilot episode, I could not have had a better guest because clearly you are somebody who prepares. You nailed every one of the time constraints, which honestly I have to give you credit for because it's really difficult for founders and CEOs. They're passionate about their product. They're passionate about their company. There's a lot to tell. There's a lot of story. There's a lot of tech. There's a lot of everything. So for you to be able to be so disciplined at every single question, because guys at home, I told Chris when we started this thing, I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to get this thing nice and tight so we can get it on LinkedIn and not have to break it all up. But if you go over a minute, it's not a big deal. And Chris is like, no. You challenged me to 60 seconds and I am here to accept the challenge. And so well done. Oh, wait, hold on. The audience responds. So, Chris, we're outside of the questions. We've got a little bit of time. Here's what I'd be interested in. Why don't you tell the folks on LinkedIn kind of who that ICP is today, so that if they're listening, if that ideal candidate, the type of company, the size of company, the size of the complexity of their network, or whatever it may be that you use the kind of checkbox that says, this is our lowest hanging fruit customer. They get the fastest ROI, the easiest onboarding. They already get it. Like, this is the low hanging fruit. Who's that?
Yeah, so obviously we're already working with folks in the government, marketing services, and financial services. We are also looking at power companies. We are talking to car companies. Basically, anywhere there is an edge and an agent or AI use, we basically want to be there to help these two people get together in a really secure and orchestrated fashion. We basically, in terms of size of company, it's really anyone who is looking to integrate AI into the daily use of their company, but also have the confidence to know that it's secured. If you're already working with an existing security company like Cloudflare or CrowdStrike, then you are a potential customer of ours.
So you could be a small company, and I assume that means that the pricing, the fee structure would be relative to the size of your organization, but
yes,
you can also handle a much larger organization. So maybe from, I don't know what constitutes small business, but from a small organization all the way up to enterprise or publicly traded companies. Is that about right?
That is correct. And in terms of who uses our product, who's our ICP, we get brought in by CIOs and CISOs, but who uses us are your IT networking or cybersecurity team. So one of the things that we really strive to do with the product is to make the ability to build roles on your network unbelievably easy, because of the people who will be using this are very busy networking and cybersecurity people.
Sure.
Who have a lot of them played. So one of the things that we've done, which is also unique, is we have built a natural language engine on top of our rules. So you can write in natural language a rule like no conversations about upcoming products. And our platform will break that apart into a set of rules and policies that support it. So it's super easy. If we
So
can't
basically,
get,
your clients don't need to learn the language of your platform. They need to
no,
just be able to put in like a prompt in English what they need, and your system will work it out. In the last couple of seconds, Chris, for people that want to connect with you, they either want to learn more, maybe get a demo, understand the capabilities. What's the best way to either learn more or connect with you?
Yeah, you can find us at millpondresearch.com. My email is really tough. It's Christopher@millpondresearch.com. And we love to hear from everyone, and we love to partner with folks. The nice thing about being prompt-based is we basically work with everybody. We don't reach up into the applications or the agents. We don't reach down into the data or the models. We just get them together, super secure, super orchestrated for the benefit of our customers.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you again. I appreciate the bravery. You nailed it. Perfect stuff. And if you're interested in seeing more AI startups that separate hype from reality, let me know their name. I'd love to have them on. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Stephen. Really appreciate it.
Good.